All right, in today's explainer, we're looking at a diet that, honestly, isn't about a quick fix. It's about a total reboot, actually changing your body's tendency to gain weight in the first place. We're going to dive into the constitutional approach, which is all about ending that yo-yo cycle for good.
But first, let's talk about that question that drives so many of us crazy. You put in the work, you lose the weight, and then, somehow, it just finds its way back. It's that classic, super frustrating yo-yo diet. But here's a thought. What if the problem isn't your willpower? What if the method itself is broken? And this is really where the two paths diverge. On the left, that's what most of us know, right? Short-term goals, lots of restriction, and results that, well, they just don't last. This explainer is all about the approach on the right, a totally different way of thinking. Instead of restriction, the key word here is recalibration. The goal isn't temporary, it's a sustainable, long-term change.
So what on earth is constitutional improvement? Well, think of it like this. You're no longer just fighting a battle to lose a few pounds. You are fundamentally changing your body's programming. You're transforming it from a system that's, really good at gaining weight into one that naturally maintains a healthy weight. You're literally rewriting the rulebook your body operates by.
Okay, so how do you actually do that? How do you recalibrate your entire system? It all comes down to two core principles. This is the blueprint for making it all happen.
So here's how it works. First, there's a physical goal, shrinking your stomach. The idea is to train your body to feel full with less food, which hits the #1 cause of rebound weight gain right on the head. And second, and this part is the real game changer, is the biological goal, lowering your set point. This is all about adjusting that internal thermostat that controls your weight.
This whole set point concept is absolutely key. Just imagine your body has a weight thermostat. It has a certain weight it feels comfortable at, and it will do everything it can, crank up your hunger, slow down your metabolism to stay right there. Most diets are just a constant, exhausting battle against that thermostat. This approach, it's about getting in there and permanently lowering the setting itself.
So how long does a big recalibration like this actually take? Well, the whole program is built around one key number, 40. 40 days. That's seen as the minimum time you need to shrink your stomach, really lock in those new habits, and start nudging that internal set point down.
So that's the theory. Now let's get into the practical side. This is the actual day-to-day guide for rewriting your body's rules.
The whole thing really stands on 3 simple but pretty profound rules. First, you only eat when you are genuinely hungry, not just because the clock says it's lunchtime. This makes your body actually use the energy it already has stored. The second one is a fascinating mental check. If you hesitate before eating something, you just don't eat it. And finally, portion control is super simple and visual. Your entire meal, everything included, shouldn't be bigger than your fist.
Let's just pause on that second rule for a second, because it's really interesting. If you're hesitant, don't eat. The whole idea here is that your hesitation is like a subconscious signal. It's your body basically saying, hey, I don't really need this energy right now, so if you give it to me, I'm just going to pack it away as fat. It's a really powerful way to tell the difference between real hunger and just a passing craving.
And that simplicity carries over to what you can and can't have. On the yes list, you've basically got water, prescribed herbal medicine, and a black coffee. That's it. And the avoid list is just as simple. No alcohol, no pork, and this one might surprise you. For this phase, no fruit.
Now, the way this approach looks at exercise is probably different from what you're used to. The main thing is just walking, for about an hour a day. But here's the key detail. If your workout leaves you absolutely starving, the advice is to actually reduce the intensity. The philosophy is crystal clear. Exercise is for your health, for toning up and feeling good, but the diet is the engine that's actually driving the weight loss.
Okay, so beyond all the physical rules, there's the mental game. Let's break down the mindset that is absolutely essential if you want to turn short-term results into a long-term win.
You really need 2 key pieces of psychological armor here. First, you have to learn to embrace the plateau. Because inevitably, after that first big drop, your weight loss will slow down. That's totally normal, it's not a sign that you're failing. Second, you have to learn to ignore what the source calls sabotage praise. You know what I'm talking about, when friends and family say, oh, you look amazing, you've lost enough. You have to see that as just a test of your own commitment to the goal you set for yourself.
So all of this leads up to the biggest challenge with any diet, right? Maintenance. How do you keep the weight off without feeling like you're on a diet for the rest of your life? Well, this system has a really simple, powerful answer. The 3-kilo rule. This is pretty much your lifelong strategy in a nutshell. Step 1, you hit your goal weight. Awesome. Step 2, you go back to living your life, enjoying food again, but, and this is the absolute key, you have a built-in alarm system. If your weight ever creeps up by 3 kilos, which is about 6.5 pounds, you just immediately jump back on the program for a little while to reset. It's a tool for control, not a life sentence of restriction.
So really, the biggest takeaway from this whole explainer is a shift in how you look at the problem. It challenges us to stop focusing only on the numbers on the scale, and instead to ask a totally different question. What if the real goal wasn't just to lose weight, but to fundamentally change the very body that gains it so easily in the first place? And that is something to think about.